What is up, everyone? Jason here, and we are playing No Man's Sky, and I thought I'd do something a little different. I haven't done this in a while. I know we went through a permadeath save, but I wanted to try out fresh from the beginning. We're going to play normal mode, fresh from the beginning, and just kind of go through some of the steps and focus heavy on base building. So, if that's your thing, awesome. Hopefully you like this series, and if not, it's okay. We have a whole bunch of other series and videos coming out, so don't you worry about that. But in this one, we're going to be doing a new game, and it's going to be normal mode right here. So we're going to be playing normal, because I have been playing permadeath, and that's really... It's not hard, but it takes a long time to do anything, because you have such a limited inventory. Whereas on normal mode, you have a lot of inventory space, so you can kind of build faster, and so that's where I'm going to play my base building series on. So let's just jump right into it. All right, so this is going to be your first screen, and I always love the fact that they want you to initialize. So let's do it. And for all of you who've never played No Man's Sky before, you will always start off on a hazard planet. Meaning you are going to die if you don't pay attention. So you have to be paying attention, not to this video, but you have to be paying attention to everything, because the atmosphere will kill you. This is survival. This is a survival game. So our scanner's already broken. So you wake up and all your equipment is broken. You don't know where your ship is, so you have to build all of this from scratch. You just wake up on a random planet. Oh, I love it. Look at that. Yeah. And then it'll pull out to third person. Yeah. So there you are. Everyone starts out as the anomalous explorer. The traveler. So look at that. Look at all these. I have awesome butterflies, but I'm on a radiation planet. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get some sodium. Because sodium will recharge your hazard protection. So what we're looking for is a yellow plant. Oh, and it's telling us right there, guidance. We need to perform a scan. Our scanner is broken, so we need ferrite dust to repair that scanner. That's okay. And usually rocks, these like minerals, will have your ferrite dust. So let's break some of these. And while we're doing it, let's keep an eye out for some yellow plants. And by yellow, you'll see what I mean when we get to it. They glow yellow. They're not like, they're yellow colored, but they also have a glow. Alright, we're breaking all this stuff up. So yeah. Oh, we have enough ferrite dust to repair it, so let's repair this. We have enough dust to repair it. Yeah. Now we need to scan again. Let's try it again. Now we can scan. Now we're looking around. The sodium is the Na over there, the yellow. So let's go take that look over there. And if you don't know how to do this, again, this is just for beginners. If you're really, starting out fresh, we're going to do a shoulder boost. So in this game, you have a punch. You can just punch over here. And if you're on Xbox One, that's the right bumper. Or if you're on PS4, that's R1. So you can punch around a little bit. But if you're running, you can punch and you can kind of move forward a little faster. Oh, look at all this sodium. Holy cow. Look at all of this sodium. So yeah, we want to pick up all these little plants. Now, usually you're not this lucky. I mean, usually you'll see like one or two grouped together. You won't have a big pile of them like this. This is awesome. I'll take all of it. Yes. So now let's recharge our hazard protection. So you can either go into your menu, you can pause and go to this menu right here, or if you press down on your D-pad, you pull up a quick menu. And if you go to the recharge equipment, the little battery icon, you can go up to whatever you want to highlight. And so we need to recharge our hazard protection before we die. And it'll say, hey, you can use any of these items to recharge it. I only have sodium, so we're going to use it. Boom. So now I'm being protected against the radiation but it'll slowly drain. You can see that yellow bar on the left-hand side. That will keep draining, so we need to keep an eye on that to make sure we don't die. But we can also kill a whole bunch of these plants and rocks to get materials. That way we can build other stuff as well. So I would always recommend go pick up a whole bunch of stuff. As much as you can. Especially at first, you're going to need as much as you can. Oh, there's more sodium over here. And you see how it has a faint glow? It's kind of hard to see in the daytime, but there's a trick to this. If you go back into your quick menu, you press down on the D-pad and you go all the way over to the little camera icon, the photo mode. You select that, it pauses time. That way you don't have to worry about dying or anything like that. Time is paused when you're in the photo mode. And you can move the camera around and look around so you can get a good picture, right? Well, you can also move the sun with your right stick. So if I were to click the sun, like I can move the sun right there or right there. So you can kind of move it. That way you can get a good light on your subject if you're trying to take a picture. But you can also use it if you're really desperate and you need to find something like sodium or oxygen. You can also aim down into the ground, and if you click it to move the sun there, it turns to nighttime. And this is the best way to use to find these yellow plants, because look at now it glows. You can see it from way far away, and so you can see, okay, there's ones right there. Off in the distance, you can see yellow over there. So you can kind of pinpoint where your plants are. There's some red over here. This is going to be for oxygen. So you can kind of get a pinpoint, and it's paused, so you're good to go. Now, the scary thing is you think it's nighttime, right? It is not. You just move the sun temporarily. Once you exit your photo mode, it'll go back to normal like this. See, it's go back to normal. So you're totally fine. But I don't want to run too far because I want to pick up that sodium. And know that your limits in your inventory are 9,999. So I could pick up 9,999 sodium and it'll take up this one spot. So I can put that right there. So look at, boom. I can put up to 9,999 in each one of these squares, okay? That way, you know, I mean, in permadeath and in survival mode, that is way less. It is literally 250. So I would have picked up too much sodium already. I would have used 2 squares for this sodium. Because I can only fit 250 in there when I'm playing on permadeath and survival. Those are really hard modes to play. Now watch out for this guy because he wants to kill you. But if you're really careful, you walk up close, really slow, you can get these little red pods, and they will give you oxygen. Nope, don't want to get poisoned, so boom. And you want to pick up oxygen because oxygen refills... Oh, God. It refills your life support, which is like your oxygen that you're breathing, things like that. And so you want to pick up oxygen wherever you find it. And it's always going to be red, a glowing red icon. Well, let's go. And our mission right now, as you can see in the bottom right-hand side, it says, reach the marked signal. So we're going towards this icon over here. We don't know what this signal is, but we need to go head over to it. And you see on the way, we can always pick up more, materials if you want to. So let's pick up that. We can always pick up tons of stuff. So I would always recommend, if you got the time, do it. So yeah, and you can kill everything. And you see how all of it says unidentified mineral? You can identify it, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. You can identify anything. Well, I should say anything, because you can't identify this blob. But most things that are on a planet, you can identify them. Plants, rocks, minerals, things like that. Animals, you can identify and you can name them. But we haven't gotten that far yet. We still need to find out where this signal is. Oh, look at this. Nice. They give you a little... And you'll find these random drops out in the middle of nowhere. Like that. The white squares are for health. So if you're running low on health, you can open that up and get some more health. These random, like, red boxes, they give you random materials. It could be, like, sodium. It could be oxygen. Just a little bit of something. See how I picked up that? Oh, condensed carbon. There you go. That's actually pretty useful. I like that. So, yeah, we're picking up all these little boxes right here. Yep, because you can always use it, especially on normal mode, because you have a lot of room in your inventory. I don't need health, and that's why I'm leaving that health box over there. Now, for these plants that explode and try to poison you, you can just destroy them. You can just shoot them and kill them. but you don't get as much oxygen from them unless you go over to the gassy pods. So they always have 3. So boom. Now once you've picked up all 3, then you can kill it. That way it stops trying to explode, and it'll give you even more oxygen. Boom. But to milk the most oxygen out of it, you're gonna need to pick up those gassy pods. Where's my signal? Oh, right over there. Boom. Sorry, I got all turned around. I didn't know where I was going. Oh, look at that. That's a crashed ship over there. Starship. You'll see those gassy pods all over the place. So just be careful of those, because they will poison you if you just stand around them for too long. Let's, while we're paying attention to our yellow bar, let's refill our hazard protection. That way we don't die. Because we have a lot of sodium. And there you go. Here's oxygen plants right here. They're little red glowing plants, just like the sodium. So boom. And we just pick them up. Pick them up. Boom. You have to just walk over to them and it'll highlight and say, hey, you want to pick that up? Yep. We have a lot of sodium. Look at that. We have a lot of sodium. We have a lot of carbon. We have a lot of oxygen. Yeah, look at that. We're doing pretty good. We have a lot of the basic building blocks. Oh, and here's the distress beacon. Let's see what this says. Scenario, iteration, random number, deleted. Boundary separation failure likely. Vessel 16 emptied. Cause, Sentinel intervention, deliberate transfer. Analysis, fresh iteration generated, anomaly containment prepared. So let's go broadcast this. Since we're here, let's mark it out. Traveler anomaly detected. Anomaly is compliant. Position logged. System integrity scan initialized. So we've just broadcast, where we were, because that's a distress beacon. Oh, let's go over here. Oh yeah, look at this is a broken machine right here. You could actually go into it, and it used to be you had to repair it. Back in, a long time ago, you had to actually fix this thing. But they've actually made it to where now all you have to do is take out the rusted metal. And so this rusted metal's all broken, so let's take it and put it in our inventory. And now it's fixed, so let's see what we get from it. It'll give you an item usually. Oh, we got nanites. You see on the top right? It says nanites received 33. So that's a type of currency. You have units, which is money, like cash money. And then you have nanites, which is like a higher currency. Oh, let's see, this yellow box is searchable too. Boom. We got some dihydrogen in that. Yes, I love it. You can search those red boxes. Now, these green damage containers are pretty cool because you can search it, but they'll have broken locks on them, so you can get the rusted metal, put it in our exosuit, and we're saving that for later, and I'll show you that once we get a little farther in. But well, we got some dihydrogen jelly out of there, which is a cool item. But yeah, look at this. Now we have our crashed ship right here. It's a crashed Radiant Pillar BC-1. I love this thing. It's a little fighter, but it's broken. Look at all the fire and flames and stuff. So let's see what's going on with this thing. Iteration, big old number, online. Atlas connection, intermittent. Launch thrusters, offline. Pulse engine, offline. I find myself alone on a strange world, unequipped and in danger. I have no memory of how I got here, no sense of a before. But this ship, at least, seems to recognize me. The controls react to my touch, or at least to that of my exosuit. I am not dead yet, and this ship is a lifeline out to the stars. So let's read. Actually, we could read the log or connect our exosuit. Let's connect our exosuit, because we might be able to repair it or something. Log 492. 5A, unavailable, substituting data. Exosuit connected. Suggestion, pilot should perform maintenance, select desired repair path. Well, let's repair the ship, yeah. Self-guided repair protocols initiated. So now we know that our pulse engine is damaged, our engine is damaged. So our launch thrusters are damaged as well. So if you go into your menu, you can see all your stuff. So our launch thrusters and our pulse engine are critically damaged. We need to make some parts for this stuff. Repair the pulse engine with metal plating. So we need to make some metal plating, and we need ferrite dust in order to do that. So if you're in your menu right here, you can actually craft different items, and you have to learn recipes, but we have some basic stuff we can make. And one of those basic things is metal plating. So if you press A on Xbox One, or I believe that's X on PlayStation 4, it'll let you select from different recipes that you know how to make. So let's make some metal plating, and we'll make 2 of them because it costs 50 ferrite dust per metal plating. So let's make 2. And if you press your left bumper and right bumper, or R1 and R2, or R1 and L1, you can actually switch between different levels, and I can build multiple ones. So let's build 2. And we should be okay, so let's actually go back to our ship. How much do we need? Well, we only needed 1, so I built an extra one for no reason. I just wasted ferrite dust. Great. That's okay. We repaired that part, but we need this thing right here. What do we need? Oh, it just kicked me out. Board the starship and consult the ship diagnostics. Functional. Starship critically damaged. Vital ingredient missing. Unable to synthesize required components. Pulse engine requires hermetic seal. Well, we need help with that. Teach me the recipe, right? Teach me the blueprint on how to make that. Recommendation. Iteration comparison reveals hermetic seal is nearby. Salvage planetary chart from distress beacon cache. Alright, so there's a hermetic seal nearby. Our part's nearby, but we don't know where it is. So let's get a map from our distress beacon. So let's search in here for a map. I peer inside the beacon's housing, as well as its distress beacon unit. It contains a planetary chart. Well, let's take that. Now, planetary charts are pretty awesome. They're a usable item in your menu. And so if you go in here, you can actually see it, and it tells you what it does. So this specific map will show me the coordinates of a distress signal nearby. And so all you have to do is hold down X or square if you're on PlayStation 4. Hold it down, and it will actually search for the nearest distress signal. And we know that the hermetic seal is at the distress signal, so that's where our hermetic seal is going to be. Beautiful. Right over there. I love it. So now we have to walk over there. So we have 854 units to get over there. So that's about feet. So let's go hit this thing. Let's run. And as we run that way, we're going to pick up some materials on the way. So I like to fire as I'm going. Oh, well, I need an upgraded laser in order to get that one. So we're not going to worry about that yet. But we can get this stuff. Oh, and look at that. Poison exploder right there. Now, if you want to run really quickly, you can do that. You see you run, and you're going to run out of energy eventually. And depending on how upgraded your suit is, you can run for longer and longer. But there is a faster way to do this. Now, remember earlier we talked about having a punch? So we have a little punch. That way we can attack people. And we also have a jetpack. If you hold down A, you have a jetpack. But we can actually use that to our advantage. So if you're running, you can actually punch and then use your jetpack at the same time, and it will actually do what we call a shoulder boost. And so you don't want it, you have to be running. So when you run out of energy, you're like, okay, great. Let's give it a second. And I want to take full advantage of this, because like if I do a shoulder boost, it just literally, you jump up a little bit and then you go forward with your jetpack. But if you're going up a hill, it doesn't really work that well. So let's get to the top of this, and then I'll show you what I mean. So then we're going to, while we're running, you want to punch and then jetpack. There you go, see? That went really quick. Oh, we have a storm coming in. So we might actually get killed with this storm, so we got to keep going. That's why you want to move really quick. So, again, we're going to try that again. So run, and then run, and while you're running, you push the punch button and the jetpack at the same time. Maybe offset it by like a half a second. So you half a second later use your jetpack. So boom, boom. And then it'll let you go by real quick. And it does blow through your jetpack really fast. Oh, look at that. The storm is here, which is killing my hazard protection. When a storm appears, depending on which planet you're on, it could go really quick, but it could take a long, long time. And in general, especially in the beginning, this storm is going to last a while because they want to teach you how to use your your hazard protection, and to get into cover and things like that. So sometimes they'll be really quick. Sometimes they'll take a long time. Oh, we're here. This little building over here. So that building's the one that's marked. So let's get inside, get out of this storm. That way we don't die. Whew. Okay, and see, as we got inside, now you see our yellow bar. Our hazard protection on the left is increasing. That means we're out of the storm and we're recovering. So we can interact with some of the items in here. Let's interact with this thing, a universal language database. This will teach us different words. Terminal online. Universal translation service reached. Lifeform dictionary available. We can learn words. We can learn a different language. So we learned the Gek word for Gek. So there are going to be 3 different races other than you that you can talk to. You can talk to the Gek, the Viking, and the Korvax. And they're 3 separate races. So your Gek are your traders. They trade. They like to do a whole bunch of like selling and stuff like that. The Viking are your warriors. They're big old guys. And they like to go to war. They like to beat things up. And then you have your Korvax, which are the science nerdy guys. They're robots. And so you can learn how to speak with all of them. But when you interact with them, they speak in their own language. And so knowing these words will really help you out when you start talking to them. Because you'll understand what they're talking about. But here, we're here to get the hermetic seal, so let's actually get it. Let's go to this little archive right here. Accessing archive. 6 of 7 logs corrupted. Entry 492A follows. No one, and it cuts out, making this recording in case leaving behind in the fabricator might be of some use. Visor damaged. Can't find ship. So there was someone else here who left it here because they were trying to find their ship and they couldn't find it, so they probably got lost and died. So let's recover the supplies. And it should have a hermetic seal for us. The log finishes and the machine whirls to life, spitting out supplies. I have the hermetic seal I need to repair my ship. Whoever it was that led me here, whoever left this message, perhaps they found themselves in the same situation as I do now. Sounded like it, didn't it, you guys? Nice. So we have our hermetic seal to actually fix our ship, but I'm going to call it there. So hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, hit the like button for me. And if you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. My channel is all about No Man's Sky, and I love it so much. And I hope I see you guys next time.